When I was home this time, too, I remembered something. You know, I remembered he used to bring the Coke up to Dan Marino at the University of Pittsburgh. I knew those guys.
Oh, yeah?
They're still around.
I'm telling you, that's why he dropped all the way to the Dolphins at pick 24 that year, because there was always rumors that he was doing Coke in college because he was going to be like number one, and 5 quarterbacks went before him, or 4. Kenny O'Brien, all these guys, because of the Coke rumors, and the Dolphins go, we'll take a chance on him.
Fuck it, he's down in Miami anyway. I didn't know you were that much of a damn.
Oh, huge. Fan. Yeah, huge Dolphin fan and Marino fan. I wound up get to know him because I worked on Inside the NFL like in 2004, and he was on there and shit, so we became friends and stuff. I still see him from time to time. He's a great dude. That guy, after like Inside the NFL, Bob Costas, Chris Collinsworth, Chris Carter, they'd do like a party or something like that afterwards. They'd all go sit at the table. Like, you know, the hosts and stuff like that with all the executives from HBO. Marino would hang with the friggin' camera guys and drink beers with them and just tell stories. He wanted to hang with the blue-collar guys. He was always like that, growing up from Pittsburgh.
He's a Pittsburgh guy.
Yeah, Pittsburgh guy, yeah.
I'll never forget when Pittsburgh played West Virginia, Marino's senior year, and there was a guy on West Virginia called Darryl Talley.
Oh, yeah, he went to the Bills.
He ended up playing for the Bills.
He's an animal.
Man.
Yeah.
You should have seen him in college.
Really?
Like in college, I was like, who is this fucking guy? He was doing everything.
He had the face paint. Yeah, number 56.
He was tackling people, sacking people, biting people, fucking intercepting balls. I was like, who the fuck is this guy? I still remember Marino. That was on a couple of weeks ago. The quarterback thing, 30 for 30. With
Elway. With Elway and Marino,
breaking it down, fucking brilliant. What the Yankees did with Elway. Elway just did not want to play for the fucking Colts. He's like, I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
I'm not fucking doing it.
Yeah, that was amazing. You know, and he had a great junior year, and then Marino didn't have a great senior year, and there was drug rumors about him, and he dropped all the way, and Miami picked him up.
I still remember kids telling me they were going to Pitt to party. Not saying his name, like he wasn't a big deal at the time. But I still remember a handful of kids, a girl specifically, that she was dating one of those guys that was coming to Hudson County, picking up the shit in North Bergen and bringing it right up to Pitt for the weekends because the kid went to St. Joe's in West New York.
Right.
There was a kid from St. Joe's, West New York, that went to Pitt, and he played. And Pitt, all 4 years with Marino, he was the fucking source of that fucking powder. Poor Marino. And he was still on powder in the NFL, too, supposedly.
Yeah. I mean, if he lived in Miami and stuff, you know. He never got caught or anything. I don't know.
No. He never. The receivers did.
Duper and Clayton.
Yeah,
all those guys.
Motherfuckers were snorting like it was the 4th of
July.
July.
Yeah, they got busted. And even later on in life, like Duper was dealing and stuff like that, all those Miami guys. There was always these former Dolphins. Mercury Morris was the original one. Got caught with coke back in the 70s. It was in jail for like 5 years.
Mercury Morris.
Yeah. Dealing.
I don't know your history, Jim. I don't know if you did coke or anything like that, but I always think about, like, could you be like a musician on tour or like an athlete who's playing games and have it seems like it would take too much out of you to have a problem like that, but still be able to go out there and perform at like that crazy level.
No, there was guys in the 70s, a bunch of baseball players, like 10 baseball players, stars, got busted for doing coke.
Pittsburgh Pirates.
Yeah, and then Keith Hernandez was involved, and Dave Parker.
Man. What was it?
Ron
Candelaria.
Candelaria,
the Candyman. Lawrence Taylor bands. Shit.
I saw Lawrence Taylor in a strip club. It was Saturday night at like 2 a.m., and he had a game Sunday at 1 p.m. in Jersey. Jesus. He was fucking hanging out with strippers, fucking guzzling drinks back. And he had a game in, 11 hours.
They're just that good, I guess.
They're just that good. They could perform under that type of... They could just perform.
I guess so.
You know, I did it for years. I didn't get high and go on stage. But
you've talked about how, like, if you got too high, like, sometimes your sets wouldn't be as good.
Oh, no. You have no contact. You have no emotion behind your material. It's just words on a paper.
All those guys that got fucked up, and I worked with a lot of them when I first started... If they ever had a second show on a weekend, they were terrible. The first show, they were pretty good because they were just in a groove and they had a nice buzz on. By the second show, you have to wait an hour between the second show starting. By the time they went back on, they were terrible. Terrible.
Really?
Yeah, it just doesn't work.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
You can't be that fucked up for like 7 hours. You know, the first show starts at 8. You're getting off stage at 12:30 or whatever, 5.5 hours. It just doesn't work, and there's too much downtime in between.
And then they get more fucked up.
They're more fucked up, and then they're maybe doing some coke to get back up, and they're drinking a ton and all that. It's just never. And I always saw that going. I go, I'm not going to do it. I'm never going to do that. I mean, I never did coke anyway, but I'm never going to be fucked up because I can see how much it affects the show.
I got into comedy in June of 91, and at St. Patty's Day of 92, I bought some coke, and I go, I'm going to do some coke before I go on stage. I thought Richard Pryor did it. I thought he did it and go on stage. And it was such a disaster. And never again. I would do it right from the stage to the bathroom, but I would never go up on stage with it. Never. And it would make, I saw the difference it made when I got high the night before and went on stage the next day. I would go on stage for 4 nights and just bomb because I was getting high the night before. And I could feel it. And then when I had a big show, I wouldn't get high for like a day before it. So I would be clean for like 24, 48 hours if I had a serious show. But I always got high after a show. Jesus. And that's why I never got nowhere. It wasn't until I...
Yeah, it really fucks you. It really affects you if you get really fucked up the night before and you got shows the next day. Your sleep's off and everything like that. You're exhausted on stage. You're just not thinking straight.
Which is why I thought for the athletes, like you hear about John Jones talking about he was doing coke all before those DC fights. I guess they're just so, like, they're just machines, I guess.
Well, you have that muscle memory. I heard Lawrence Taylor was snorting coke. It bothered me when people would say, well, the reason why Lawrence Taylor's so good is because he snorts coke. That's bullshit. That's completely bullshit. Because I remember being locked up, and we would do speed on Mondays. And Monday nights, we would all be allowed to go to a grammar school, like a mile away from the fucking prison and play basketball. And I would be a mess. I would be a fucking mess. And that was speed. I can't imagine doing like coke. My heart would be everywhere. My breathing would be off. My timing would be off. And I was a young kid, and I just felt it then. I'm like, nah, I don't think this works if you get high and do what you're supposed to do. Listen, I'm sure that there's 1,000 comics that have done coke and gone on stage and done great. It just didn't work for me.
Because then you get in the habit of you have to do it all the time. Right. You feel like it's all superstitions. Oh, man, I kill with it, so now I got to do it every night. You're doing 5-6 nights a week. You're going to be fucking dead in 10 years.
Yeah.
People always give me shit like, you don't drink? I go, I do this 5-6 nights a week. I've been doing it for 28, 29 years. I go, I have no liver left if I need to have beers before I go on stage.
Yeah.
Every night. You know what I mean? Like I would never get into that habit of doing that. And then I got to drive. I'm like, fuck that.
That's the thing that petrifies me the most. I can't keep it together if I drink and drive. I cannot keep it together. I'm not a big drinker, but if I have a half a beer and I get in the car, my heart rate's fucking pumping. Because I have no credibility. Once you have alcohol on your breath and you get pulled over by a cop, you have zero credibility. Even if you just had a little bit of beer with your meal, you have no credibility. You have nowhere to come from. Because once he asks you if you've been drinking, you got to say yes, and you got to take that fucking test. So I'd rather not drink and do 90 and take a chance. You know how many times a cop pulled me over and I was speeding over the speed? Weren't you in the car with me? And I just got pulled over for doing 80 and then we didn't get a ticket?
Oxnard, I think.
Yeah, because I'm a gentleman, A, and B, I don't have alcohol on my breath. Right. You could prove your point a lot more when you don't have alcohol and your car don't smell like reefer. And I knew this 30 years ago. Like when I would read that somebody got pulled over and they had a roach in the car and they had 3 kilos of coke, if I was the judge, I'd give them additional time for felony stupid. Like I would have that charge, felony stupid. Like I would have that charge. If I have anything in my car, and if I have more than 2 joints in my car, I don't do over the speed limit. They gave us a right in California. They gave us the right to smoke pot whenever we wanted to. Do you really need to smoke pot in your car?
No.
If you do, you're a fucking idiot.
Right, yeah.
You're a fucking idiot. Do you really need to smoke pot in your car? Not really. California gave you a fucking chance to smoke all the pot you want in your fucking house or on your balcony. You don't need to smoke in the car, and you're going to lose your license. You're going to crash, and they're going to trace it to that. You're going to get fucking sued. And the whole,
And if God forbid you kill someone, some guy's walking across the street, and see him, even if you were sober, and he did it, and you're high, forget it. You're going to jail minimum of 10 years.
Yeah, that happened
Over.
like Dante Stallworth a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
He just hit some guy who was walking across the floor. That's like my nightmare.
No, it's you pay a fucking attention to life. If you pay attention, you eliminate 20% of the bad shit that could happen. What's pay attention mean? Who gives a fuck who's calling you?
Right.
When you're in a fucking car and I'm driving and somebody calls you, it tells me who's calling me. I don't need to pick it up. I don't need to text when I'm driving. I don't want to text when I'm fucking driving. I don't want to text at all. So that's why I don't pay attention to it. If you pay attention to life, you won't have those problems. Even when I was in my deepest drug comas, I always paid attention. I can't tell you how many times I tell my daughter to pay attention. And she does now. She walks with her head up.
Yeah. Know your surroundings.
Know your fucking surroundings. I always ask her, who's in the room? Like the other day, I said to her, look behind you. You know, and see, when you fucking walked up to me, you should have made sure that guy was there. You didn't, because you didn't look. You got to look around. You got to keep your eyes open at all times. When I see stupid shit on the news, it breaks my heart, especially as a parent at the park. When I go to the park, I see parents fucking turn their backs and shit. You don't ever turn your back on your kid. Your eyes are always on your kid. If somebody talks to you and they're over here and it forces you, I stop the conversation. I stop the fucking conversation. I want to watch what the fuck is going on at all times. At all fucking times. What the fuck are you giggling about? No.
Why did you like him? What did he do?
He did an error.
I knew a second ago, but now keep going from where you told it, because then.
You know that little forehead you got?